So, hello everyone. We will give it another minute and let people join the webinar, and then we will start shortly. All right, a lot of people are joining already. Amazing to see.
So Anna told me that we had some registrations.
Yes, yes, a lot of interest. Amazing. So, we try to start on time. So, welcome everyone to our today's webinar. I'm very happy to again host the webinar. I think it's very crucial, important to keep up a good education status. And like always, we have a very good lecturer today as our guest speaker. I will introduce him shortly. So before we go into the today's topic, let me briefly show you how you can change the language. So we are streaming our webinar in two languages. One is German and one is English. And you can join with your desktop if you choose the interpretation button in the bottom side of the screen, and then choose between English or German. And when you are logging in from a mobile device, just use the three buttons, and then you can also choose language interpretation. The webinar will also be recorded, so in case you have to drop off earlier, please don't worry, you can find it later in our education section. So, who is behind DiagnoCAD? As you can see, it's a big team taking care of our beloved customers in the European Union. So as you can see on the left side, our CEO and founder of DiagnoCAD, Alex Sanders. I'm always proud. I'm always introducing him because not only is he a great mentor for our company, but he's also a dentist himself. When he was creating DiagnoCAD together with our developers, he really brought in some good experience from his day-to-day business. And I think that we all can see that in the software, and it makes the software more applicable in the daily business. So, and then on the right side, you can see our team for the EU market. So please, if feel free to reach out to us. You can also see the QR code here on the left side. So in case you want to book a demo with us, please don't hesitate. You can scan or screen the QR code now, and it will lead you to a registering page. Yeah, I also want to introduce one of our newest team members, Rafik Sierla. He is our country manager for the DACH region. So if you're joining from Germany, Switzerland, or Austria, Rafik will be your contact person, your primary contact person, together with Dimitri Schneider. So I'm very happy to have him on board. So some numbers about DiagnoCAD, who we are. As you can see, we are in the market for quite a bit now, over 10 years. We just had our celebration, I think last week, 10-year celebration. So we are not a startup anymore. We have more than 16 patents, and this number is growing year by year, which I'm really proud of because it just shows how much effort we put in developing a great tool for you out there. And we have also never stopped researching and developing our technology. And today we have analyzed more than 13 million teeth. And the ones who are familiar with AI know that this is very important to have a big database because AI is not only trained by humans, but also learning from the database. So the better and the bigger the number gets, the more accurate and the more precise the detections will be. And we are operating worldwide, so in 54 countries to be exact. And we also have a dedicated team of oral radiologists and dentists who are training and educating our AI in the background. So we want to make sure that you get top-notch technology provided from us. So how does DiagnoCAD look in real life? You can see an X-ray, and then we overlaid the AI so that we make the diagnostics very simple and easy to understand. Not only for the dentist, because sometimes dentists might not even need it, but especially for the patient. So it really improves the patient communication. And I would like to ask you today just to have that open mindset, like always. I chose these two pictures on purpose. As you can see on the left side, this is where it all started, and on the right side is where we are today. And I think without people like you, without innovators, without doctors that look into the future, we wouldn't have that progress in this field. So I'm very happy that you have an interest to looking into new technology. And AI is one of the new technologies and the next big technology in the medical field in general, but also now in dentistry. So this brings me to our today's speaker, Dr. Alessandro De Vigos. Happy to have you on the call today, Dr. De Vigos, from Switzerland. I think this is a premiere for us. So I'm very happy. I love Switzerland. I've been there many, many times. And also Rafik is based in Switzerland. And Dr. De Vigos will be talking about enhancing clinical confidence with DiagnoCat. I know he's a very, very versatile user. I'm happy to hear what you have to say to our audience. And with this, I hand over to you, Dr. De Vigos, and I'm looking forward to hearing your lecture. Thank you very much.
So I will start sharing my screen and then start my presentation. I hope you can see all my screen. Thank you very much, Daniel, for the kind introduction. Thanks to Anna and the whole DiagnoCat team for organizing this webinar, because I think it's important these days to talk about AI, not only in radiology, but overall what AI is doing in our modern dental offices. And well, let's start with the question. Do you know what AI in dentistry actually is? And are you already using it in your practice? So these are the questions. We all know about ChatGPT, about all this stuff, but what are we really doing with it in our dental office? So this is the question. Many things, many software tools are now called AI, but basically are just software tools. Many things are available for many years, like dictation, voice recognition, and so on and so on. And this is, for example, an interesting topic. Voice recognition is built in almost all AI tools, in all modern dental administration software, but it's not really used that often. And I tell you why. Because if you have your patient sitting in front of you in the dental chair, and you are talking to the patient, and then you turn around and start writing on your computer, you take some notes, the findings and everything. I think as a doctor, it's not so easy to speak to the computer and say, well, now I have Mr. Muller on the chair, and he's not cleaning very well, and I found this and I found that, and the patient is listening to what you're saying. So I think this is a problem that we still have, and if the door is open, and maybe other people are listening as well. So we have to be also careful how we handle information when we are talking to our patients or talking to our computers. 35% of dentists already use AI tool in their practice. So basically, ChatGPT is used. A lot of small AI tools are used, but this is data from the US. Only 18% are integrating AI into their daily workflow. They know about tools like ChatGPT, and they heard about AI tools in diagnostics, but they are still struggling and maybe not seeing the advantage of integrating these technologies into their daily workflows. The data shows the global market for AI is huge, and it's jumping from 400 million last year to 3.1 billion by 2034. And it's something that we see overall, the dental market is not that much growing. Big companies are struggling. Dentists are not investing as much as they did in the past in high technology. They see high technology has high costs. A cone beam CT is expensive. Scanners are still expensive. But AI tools might be a solution where the entry level is not so expensive. But on the other hand, if we now move all our information into the cloud, don't expect that this is all for free. Cloud storage is not so cheap as you might think. You know, the big players like Dentsply Sirona, Straumann, and other companies, Align, and so on, they have the cloud solutions. And if you look at what they charge for using your cloud storage, it's something that you need to put into the calculation of your dental office. And also the AI tools. So put the numbers together. We have now in our dental office, we use exclusively cloud-based services. The only thing that is not cloud-based now is the X-ray machine. That still is physically in our office. We have an X-ray computer, but all the data is immediately transformed into cloud-based information. And let me explain what AI actually does in a modern dental office. So it's practice management. So you can have the scheduling options, chatbots, billing, insurance verification. That is something that is getting more and more important. So the AI checks the invoices before sending them to the insurance companies if they are correct, if everything has been charged correctly, and so on. Patient communication, so chatbots. I know that some might say, well, I don't like to speak to a chatbot, but in the future, the chatbots will be more human-like. So I'm working, so my idea is to integrate my own voice, my own face, so create an avatar of myself to talk to the patients, but always inform the patient that this is not me. So my name is Alessandro, and it's easy. My avatar is Alex. So Alex is my avatar, and if Alex is talking to you on a chatbot or on any interactive platform, you will be informed that. And for me, this is an important piece of information that creates credibility. You can imagine if you call the dental office at 10 at night, Dr. Alessandro is not, maybe I'm sleeping at 10 at night, but my chatbot or my avatar will answer your call and tell you, hello, Mr. Müller, this is Alex, Dr. Alessandro's avatar. Alessandro is sleeping right now, but I will try to help you. And then you can start the communication on a more personal level. And if the avatar doesn't know the answer, it will then say, okay, I will hand over this question to the real doctor or to the team of the office, and they will get in touch with you as soon as possible. But the connection, that you don't find just an answering machine or just a website, I think this is important information and important communication with your patient also for the future. And clinical documentation, again, voice activated periodontal charting, this is not an issue, but clinical note generation can save time. But as I mentioned before, it's not always without any issues or problems, that sometimes you would love to write down something in the patient record, but you don't want that the patient is really listening to it immediately. So this is a point that you need to keep an eye on. Well, AI is no longer science fiction, but we use AI not in the big context as it is overall in technology or in our society. We use it for very specific tasks. And the goal is to analyze complex data, and we are getting closer to what we will talk about today. The big field where AI helps dentists and doctors is analyzing images. It can be X-ray images, it can be photographs. I'm still missing, and this goes out also to the DiagnoCAD team, more tools that analyze also images, pictures. Analyzing pictures, I know that in medicine, there are some databases to analyze images of lesions, of cancers, of ulcers, of any lesions on the skin or wherever. And we have also a growing number of issues related to cancer that we see inside the patient mouth. And it would be nice to take pictures and analyze also this information beside just the X-ray. But I would say 80% or 90% of where AI is really helping us is in analyzing and diagnosing images. So we have like the two arenas of where dental AI is working. It's the operational AI, where we have the business, automation of tasks, improved efficiency, and the patient flow, scheduling, billing, all this communication part to automate and support the communication part. And then we have the clinical AI, which is then our co-pilot or the consultant of the doctor or of the medical team, of the dental team, to analyze data much quicker. And you, for example, you see I'm wearing my Ray-Ban Meta 2 glasses. I'm using them the whole day when talking to my patients. And if there's a question, I can ask Meta. For example, if the patient asks me, or I ask the patient, what medications are you taking actually? And if I don't know the medication, I can ask Meta, tell me what this medication is all about. Why is this patient taking this, or for what? Sometimes they send you a list with medications, but they don't really know why they are taking all this. So these are the helpful tools where AI can also assist us in the communication, in diagnosing with our patient. But coming back, the core focus of AI today in dentistry is radiology, because this is the largest amount of information, of data that we are accumulating in our dental office, and that needs to be analyzed as quick as possible, as efficient as possible. So this is where AI really is the game changer in our dental offices. So what are we facing? So the traditional challenge. So we are subjective. So if we all look at these X-rays, we might find many different results. Some people will say, well, there's nothing. Some say, yeah, there are some I see cavities. And then it comes also, how do you communicate with your patient? If you look at the X-ray with your patient, what does your patient see? You explain to him, yeah, you see there's enamel, there's dentin, you see the root, you see the bone, and the patient doesn't really understand what he sees. And then the additional problem is also, the longer you look at something, the less details you see. It's like if we talk about shade taking. If you look more than 5 seconds at the shade, you don't see the shade anymore. And the same with X-rays and all visual information that we are analyzing. We need to stay focused, and here it comes that AI can help me very quickly, giving me some hints. It's like an additional opinion, somebody giving me some hints and say, doctor, did you see there, I see some deviation from the standard. I see some decalcifications. I see some patterns that are not as they should be. Please take a closer look. So this is the important message. And how it works, basically, we will then go through the demo as I show you some cases, but we upload the scan, be it a 2D, 3D, and we also upload images or STL files. We will go back to that later. And then the AI analyzes this information. And it was interesting in the introduction of Daniel that DiagnoCat has already analyzed 30 million images. The larger the number of images analyzed, the better the outcome will be. That's, for example, if you take a look at AI in orthodontics, Align has a big advantage because they have the largest database. So they have the largest amount of information. They can take or extract information or learning points, learning algorithms out of it to detect things faster and say, well, 10,000 doctors did this wrong because they changed the way to move teeth that is not working. And analyzing 5 million, 10 million cases, we know that this movement should be avoided. And the same here, the more information is in the system, the more reliable the prediction gets. And you get the visual report with color-coded visual information. So this is like becoming standard in all the tools that are around now for dentists or doctors as well. So talking about 2D, you see instantly small changes. Sorry, the bone loss is measured. So basically you don't need to start probing around the teeth. It will, let's say, this information does not replace probing of pockets, but it gives you some basic information or hints if there might be deeper pockets or not. And it gives you some, again, it gives you always hints. It never makes a decision. And what I really love, and I will go through that also in detail, is the 3D analysis. And this is where I really love the power of AI, where how to create 3D images. Basically, it's STL files where you see all the details that you would not see on an X-ray just by, even if you're an experienced dentist, you might struggle with some information that are crucial in your treatment planning, especially when we talk about the mandibular nerve canal and other things. The fact is that you get 30% reduction in diagnostic errors. So there are different numbers. There are already studies. So these numbers are based on first findings, first studies, where doctors were compared to AI tools on how to diagnose things on 2D or 3D X-rays. And we see that the AI is really catching up and becoming better and better. And if we talk not about dentistry, if we talk about medicine, the analysis of CT scans, these are really, that's a huge amount of information. Their AI has outperformed the doctors by far. And it still needs the doctor to make the final decision. We'll talk about that. But you are much quicker and much more efficient when you use AI in this diagnostic workflow. And here the patient communication part. And this is where I see the biggest benefit in our dental office is to show the patient what is happening. If you show the patient this picture that you see on the screen with the anatomy of the teeth, with these red points, and then the patient asks, doctor, do we need to do something here? And then you can explain, look, this is not through the enamel. We can still monitor this. We can with hygiene method, with prevention, we can try not to do fillings in this case, but you have to be careful because the patients believe in this information. And if the AI would say, this is a cavity, please always double check. Please always double check. And for me, one of the most important diagnostic tools, especially for proximal caries, is still transillumination. This is, everyone knows about transillumination with these fiber optics that you can trans-illuminate the teeth, and then you see. This is for me an additional tool that you should use beside your eyes, the X-ray, the AI. You could also use this trans-illumination to check proximal parts. And the next thing is, you need to take X-rays the proper way. If you have too much overlaps of your images, even AI can't see anything, nor you can see anything. So sometimes it is helpful to retake an X-ray that it really looks like this, that we see clearly the proximal boxes, that we see the contact points, that we don't have, here we have a small overlap, but we should try to use the correct techniques when taking X-rays, because the better the information that is feed into the system, the better is also the outcome. And here also numbers, we see 30% increase in case acceptance, because if a patient sees what's happening, he understands, and then he trusts more, and he accepts what has to be done. So now we've seen the what and why, and we will check now how we are using DiagnoCat in our dental office. So before I switch the screen, I just want to show you how it works in our dental office. So we have one X-ray PC. So this was from the beginning. I never had my X-ray software on all the PCs around the dental office. We have one PC where the cone beam CT is attached, and where we are still working with the phosphor plates from Dürr for many years. So we scan the X-rays, we have the 3D X-rays, and then this upload tool from DiagnoCat gets the information and uploads it to the cloud, and then the report is generated. And you see, it's very easy. It's very easy to set up the connectors. So I have like a shared folder. These are the information that are exported from the Dürr system, and then from these shared folders, the images are automatically uploaded, assigned to the patient, and then analyzed. The same for Sidexis, or you can add more connectors if needed, and you can also define what do you want to do. You can automatically delete the studies, because if they're uploaded, you don't need them. You don't need them in this local folder, and so on and so on. So that's a really easy and very efficient tool that helped me a lot to set up DiagnoCat in our office very efficiently, because I tried other systems as well. And for example, we tried Pearl Second Opinion, and it stopped working when we had to upgrade our X-ray software, and they just told me, you did an upgrade, our software is not working anymore. So keep these things easy and efficient, and you should check if your software is able to do this with your software. So now let's go again to my Google folder. Give me a second. So I have to move this down. So here. So I think now you can see the DiagnoCat screen. So I created the DiagnoCat webinar patient for let's say for data safety. we are doing this. So this is the startup screen. I saw that We go here just to see all. So basically, this is the layout, but we will go back to the DiagnoCAD webinar patient. Here you can create reports. So basically, if we just take a quick look at the screen, we have the treating doctors. So basically, here is my profile. We have the dental clinic or the office, and then you have like a team. Basically, all our team is working on just one account because we are a small team, so we don't need to have different access levels. But I could define or add new team members with less access to the information. But for us in our dental office, we have I'm the only dentist. We have 3 dental hygienists, and we have our front desk. So we are a small team, and so everybody can access the information here in this. And then we go back to the patient. Well, here, DiagnoCAD webinar. So then you define who's treating. One very cool thing is to share information. I have also a lot of patients who love to see the information at home, especially if you do a 3D planning. You can share the information with your patient or with another dentist. You can also use a password to share this information. So we use this quite often. So the cases, let's start with something easy. We have like a 2D X-ray. This automatic tool uploads the information. Then you see the X-ray. And if I would just ask you, what do you see on the X-ray? Well, you have to look a little bit closer. But it's helpful. It's helpful if you just click here and ask the AI, what do you see? Sometimes, for example, here it shows me something that is marked as a caries sign, but this has to be then checked clinically, and this is just a small part and a small deviation in the anatomy of this premolar. So you have to be careful that not everything that is shown as a caries sign, and you see that here, if we go here, well, the software is not, it's only 31% sure. So it's not really sure if it is. And I can say, no, this is nothing. And then you approve it. So this is the important step. You don't need to go through everything and approve everything. But if something is, especially if you share information, then you should check this. And I check this clinically in the patient mouth and decided that this is no caries. So no need to treat this tooth. And here you can always restore this if you say, well, I'm not sure, or you can add a comment and say, clinically, no signs of caries, and then save this. So this helps also in the communication inside the team. Then if another one opens the image and goes to this tooth again, he sees, somebody wrote a comment. And then you can, for example, say, yes, I agree as well. We approve this. This is no cavity that we are seeing here. So this is important. And again, clicking on the anatomy, and if there are endo problems, we'll see that you have also this endo option. This is the image that works best to talk to your patients, to explain things. And you can always download a report. You can download a report and share it also with the patient. So this is really the cool thing, that you can also share this information with your patient if they want it. So here we have another patient where you see the progression over time. So if you're monitoring a patient, then you see how the teeth look over time. So this started like here. So and then we did the filling here. Now we had small, just initial caries, and so the patient was not really cleaning. So we see a progression. So we see a progression of the caries in this patient. And if you show these images side by side, the patient understands, well, something is happening, and I need to work better on my overall health. So let's go and to something that I really love is how DiagnoCat is working with cone beam CT images. So it creates already the slices, so you can check every tooth and then go and really manipulate the information. But in this situation, you might see, well, there's something going on with this wisdom tooth, and I want to know what's really happening. What you then do is you create a 3D model. And this 3D model is really something that I have to say, I love it. I really love it, because you see now this is from the cone beam CT. We have the possibility to really move through the cone beam CT with the anatomy already marked. So you see the anatomy is marked. You see the nerve here. You see the part of the root of the other tooth, and then we have the possibility to check all these details. And then you already think, well, something is wrong with this wisdom tooth. And here we go. We see, what do we see? That the nerve is really going through the roots. It's interesting how the mesial root has really created a curve to not grow into the nerve. But honestly, I don't know who of you would really extract this tooth when the patient has no problems, no issues. And I showed this information to the patient and telling them, look, I think if we don't really need to extract this because of infection, of pain or anything, I would prefer not to touch this. And this is also an issue when we talk about legal things, that if you have this information, this is really important to know and important to share with your patient, and also with, let's say, insurance companies if you need this. What we can do also is plan implants. So basically, when you plan an implant, you have the combination of uploading the cone beam CT and the STL scan, and the software combines the two information. And really, I was amazed how good this works. So basically, we go back and we see the overview. You have a huge library. You have a huge library. Let's go back here. Okay, so we have the STL. You then define where you want an implant. So here I plan. I say, okay, I want an implant on position 3-5. Then you select the manufacturer. So it's let's go back here. I have to check. This is like the demo effect. So basically, planning options, implant planning, restore. Okay, so we have we have planned to place an implant on position 3-5, and then you can select. I think it's a huge amount of implant systems that are available. then you go and select. We are working with Toman, but this doesn't matter. And then you can start. And then you can start. Then you can start planning and showing showing the implant and position the implant and really do all the planning inside this tool. So then you can also go and create a surgical guide. I think this is really something that is very powerful in planning your implants with guides. And you might know that better than myself, but this is usually I'm working with Sidexis, and there's the Simplant C-cut version that is also very good. But this is a very smart, very easy to use tool to place and position my implants in a very easy way. So planning options. I have to check again why this is not. That's the we call this the demo effect. That I planned it, and then maybe I didn't restore it correctly. But I think you see what I want to say, that I can move around, I can measure informations. You can move the implant up and down and have all this stuff. Then when we approve, we can generate a surgical guide. You can download the STL file and print your guide very easily. So we use that for some cases. We have also the possibility to create ortho reports. So you see here, I'm always fascinated how quickly we learned at dental school how to design these things. So this was calculated from the cone beam CT, but also here we have a large volume. So we have like 17 centimeter in our Axios volume. So if the volume is too small, this analysis might not be as reliable as on a big volume as we see here. So this is then additional information that we can share with the orthodontist. I would not dare to say I know everything on this, but it gives you some information on how to work with this information. And also here we have like if we don't place an implant, you can fake doing an implant when you want to work and share this information with the orthodontist to see where the teeth are, how the bone works, and all this information. This is really a good way to see. Then we have also photos. We can upload photos in high resolution to share these images with our patients or with other doctors. So this is basically the possibilities we have in using DiagnoCAD. So this is a short and quick overview. Again, the most important thing is that if you see something, you always have to approve the information. So if there's something that here, for example, 3.7, a periapical radiolucency that is shown here. Well, this is far away from the tooth, so maybe you can double check what this might be, but it looks like a less dense part of the bone. But it's always better to see too much than too little in this information. But I would say this is nothing that is critical in this situation. So we check and approve this information. So this is like a quick overview of what we are doing in our dental office with DiagnoCat. And let's go back and share this folder. Here, give me a second. Voila, Google Chrome. And then we go here and present again, sorry. Present. I have to move you on this side. As I mentioned, so voila. To summarize this short overview, I would say AI enhances your diagnostic eye because it's like somebody sitting beside you and also taking a look at the x-ray and saying, did you see that? Did you see this? And then you can say, yes, I saw it. No, I didn't. Let me check with the patient, or I don't agree. But at the end, again, it's really important that you are responsible. So it's not the AI. AI, it's like you may recently have heard ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all these AI tools don't give medical advice. They don't give medical advice, and they don't give legal advice. So they are not allowed to, not because they could not, but the decision the decision is always made by the professionals. So the doctor has to decide about a diagnosis and the treatment, no AI. A lawyer still has, or the court has to decide about what's right or wrong. It's not AI that is giving sues people. So this is maybe something that might happen in the future. We don't hope that. We hope that we are still mastering the technology and that the technology is just helping us to improve our skills to become better doctors. It's like a statement that I heard: AI makes from a good doctor a super doctor, but it cannot make a doctor from somebody who's has no idea, who never studied medicine or doesn't have any basic knowledge. But if you have basic knowledge, you become better. If you have good knowledge, you really become very good if you know how to use AI. And the communication part is the one that had the biggest impact in our dental office. We are saving more time because there's not so many questions going back and forth between hygienists, doctors, patients, if we need to do something, because they see that there's the need to do some intervention or to do some prevention. And this is the important part. So thank you for listening, for this small introduction into a huge topic. And we have now also some time for questions, if there are questions from the audience.
Amazing. Thanks a lot for your presentation. I really enjoyed listening to it. I think it was a very practical approach to the content. So we have had some question already answered them, but please take your time. And if you have questions, I will go through the closing files and then we'll look into the chat again and see if there are more questions popping up. So let me just finish here. So as always, we would like to ask you to give your feedback. As you can see, there's a QR code. We are always trying to improve. So if you could take some minutes and help us and give us some feedback, then we can also discuss it, of course, with our lecturers and speakers, because I think our mutual goal is that we all get better and we provide high quality content to you as professionals. With this, let me briefly also switch to the commercial side of the meeting today. For the ones who are interested in trying out DiagnoCat and are not sure whether this will be an added value for you, we have the option that you can choose one of our self-subscription models. where you have the full functionalities, but a lower number of reports just to try it out. As you can see, the prices are very reasonable. I think it's a very fair price for what you get back. So if you're interested in this, please, there's another QR code. Scan this QR code or reach out to us, and we are more than happy to assist you also with our other full version packages. With this, I will stop my presentation now, and let's see if there's more questions in the chat. Give me 1 second, please. So if you have any more questions, please let us know. If you don't,
So I see you answered almost all the questions, Daniel.
yes. Why no cost presented on the website? Yeah. So also thank you for the question. I think it's an important question because we are always trying to see it as an investment. So number one that we would like to ask you is have a reason why you want to try it, right? It's new technology and there is some change management necessary from your side. So if you think about implementing a new technology into your process in your practice, please make sure that there is a deeper reason behind it because ideally your whole team is starting to adapt to that technology and is utilizing it. And if this is happening, then we talk about an investment. So this is number one. And then regarding pricing, we're happy to help you in a one-on-one setting. No problem about, no worries about that. But you can estimate between 1,800 and 3,500 euros per year, really depending on the features that you're using. Or as I've just presented, you go for the self-subscription, then you can for sure yeah, save some money and you have a lower number of reports to test it out and to really see if this is something that you can work with in your day-to-day practice. Okay, is there anything else? Yeah, okay, I see you have already answered the question. So I read it out for the rest who's not in the chat maybe. Is it possible to measure the length of the root canal? And you already said yes, we can measure. Can I send the
Okay,
report?
but a question was about the protocol in using DiagnoCat. So basically, you decide as a doctor if there's a need to take an X-ray. So it's not always that you don't take X-rays as a standard on all patients. If a patient is new, we take bite wings every 2 years. If patients are cleaning very well, all 3 years. We take panoramic X-rays all 5 years. And cone beam CT X-rays are taken, for example, for wisdom tooth extraction, where it's also legally important to avoid any issues, or for implant planning. So basically, you first define the treatment need, and you don't just. I'm not a fan of this people saying, yeah, when the patient comes into the office, we scan him, we do this cone beam CT, we do all the full protocol. You have to talk to the patient and ask the patient before you just start firing all the X-rays, the radiation on the patient. So you need, and this is also legally important, you need to define as a doctor if there's a diagnostic need of an intervention like taking an X-ray, and not just saying, yeah, we are a full digital dental office and all the patients get cone beam CT scans and full body scans and whatever. So you have to be careful with that. So don't overdo things. First, look at the patient, then talk to the patient, ask the patient, what do you want? What do you have any problems? And then from there, if you have identified an issue, then you start looking for the information you need to identify the problem, to make a proper diagnosis and plan the treatment accordingly. So this is the workflow we are taking in our office, and tools like DiagnoCat help us in the communication. If we have decided to take the X-ray, to take the panoramic or the cone beam CT, and do the intraoral scan, to combine this information and present the whole set of information to improve the diagnostics and to improve the communication with the patient in explaining what we have seen and what we want to do. That's the main thing. And the AI shortens the time we need to get the information also out to the patient. So this is where we really save time, that it takes much less time to communicate the findings to our patients.
So then there's another question. So I'll go through to the medical questions first. So can you tell me more about pulp analysis? Does it identify pulp stones? Is there an endo treatment analysis, number of canals, shape, curvature?
So also this is something that you need the cone beam CT if you really want to go into details. It identifies pulp stones, or it gives you like an estimate. So it say, yeah, there might be pulp stones in there, or it looks like pulp stones. But the whole analysis of the 3D analysis of root canals is something that you need a high resolution cone beam CT.
Amazing, thank you. Then can you use multiple users? Yes, so you can add multiple users. So we are not charging per clinician, we are charging per practice. And you can also create roles within the system. So basically give rights to the users what they are able to do or not to do within DiagonCut.
Yeah.
And then we also have a positive feedback from one of our participants who is happy with our new version because it improves the communication. I think, Dr. De Vigos, you can maybe support this, that it really helps to the patient to understand, okay, there's a need for treatment, and it's not just
Absolutely, and also the possibility to share the information with the patient. So if I see that the patient is in doubt, I say, look, I showed you the information. You see the need that we have to do a restoration, or we have to extract a tooth, and we have to plan or look maybe for an implant as a possible solution, or do an aligner treatment or whatever. You can share this information with the patient and tell them, look, you can look at it at home and share this information with your husband, or with your wife, or with anyone else, or share it also if somebody asks, well, I'm not 100% sure, to share this information with another doctor to get a second opinion from another specialist. So if I see that the patient is not 100% convinced or not sure, we often I have like my network of specialists, and let's say for endo treatment, that I say, look, I will share this radiograph with my endo specialist, and they usually answer within 24 hours to give like another opinion on this treatment that can be shared then with the patient. And this creating this network of information is really important for the future, because patients, they come and tell you they themselves use ChatGPT to get answers to their questions. And it's important that you also know how to use these tools to answer the questions you get from your patients.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's important. And there's another question about
The
your,
question was about my glasses.
yeah.
So I'm using the Ray-Ban Meta second generation. I already had the first generation, because the second generation now has 8 hours of battery life. We have a 3 megapixel camera, and then again, you use it with your smartphone. You have on the smartphone, you have the Meta AI application, and this can help you in answering questions. So if a patient asks you, or you ask a patient about the medication, then you can ask Meta what this medication is all about. And if you have patients that are speaking different language that you cannot understand, Meta, the glasses also help you to translate. If the patient speaks to you in another language, the glasses can translate the voice, so they can also help you in enhancing the communication between doctor and patient if the language barrier might be an issue as well. So I would say this is something that is at a low price, and these glasses are getting better and better. But you have to tell the patient, especially before you shoot images or record videos, you have to ask the patient for permission. You cannot just enter the treatment room and start shooting videos around your patient without telling them about doing so.
Yeah, then one more question is, I'm wondering how we can share
The QR code
from
and the
yes.
prices.
So yes, there's exactly. So there you can share with a link too in our case, and then with the link, the doctor is having access to our program as if he would be a license owner. And then depending on the rights that you give to this doctor, he can also amend and change within our system. Perhaps you shared again the QR code for the prices for simple. Yes, I will share it again. No problem. Okay, I will repeat my question. Can I purchase DiagnoCat myself and use it independently as a physician if the management of my practice? Yes, I answered it before in the chat. Yes, you can purchase it individually. And you can also, because we have two functions, so there's two ways how you can upload the images into DiagnoCat. You can either drag and drop them, so for example, if you're working in a practice and it's not your practice and you're working in several practices, then you can use DiagnoCAD as the platform and you can drag and drop the images, or we can create something that is called DiagnoCAD Desktop, where we integrate with the X-ray machine. So whatever X-rays you take will be automatically pulled from DiagnoCAD into DiagnoCAD. So it's really depending on your setup, but as I said, it's an independent program. It's not linked to a practice. It's linked to a doctor, and the doctor can give rights to several people. So it's not that we charge per user. It's how the doctor needs to work with DiagnoCAD. So we are very flexible here. And I think it's also important because in the end, what we want to achieve is that doctors are using DiagnoCAD for the patients and not selecting where they are using it and where not because it's too expensive or they need to add another user and it will be more money. I think it's hindering this whole technology and this whole new way of treating a new way of new standard of care. Um, all right, is there anything else? No. So I will again share my screen for the QR code. Give me 1 second, please. So I hope you can see the QR code. And while you have time to scan the QR code, thanks a lot, Dr. Divigos, for being our today's speaker. It was an amazing webinar. I'm looking forward to the next webinar with you. And also to the participants, thanks for joining. Again, please always ask yourself the questions, what are you expecting from your treating doctor? You don't necessarily think about the dental space. Think about your dermatologist. Think about other specialties, right? Would you expect that your treating doctor to use the latest technology and together with his or her experience, then give you the best treatment options? So I think this is always a thought I personally carry with me. Is AI helping and advancing us, or is it hindering us? And I think it is as you said, also, Dr. De Vigos, I think it's a great technology that is really making or elevating the standard of care. Um, okay, there are three more questions in the chat. 1 second. Thank you. Can DiagnoCAD generate 3D model from a 2D? No.
No.
3D model is always from a 3D image.
Yeah. And maybe I can also share my YouTube channel because because I have there also information about not only about DiagnoCAD but about AI this is like dental TV maybe or I can just quickly share my screen.
Yeah, sure. Please share your screen.
So this is my channel. I started 4 months ago, and I already have 40,000 subscribers. And here you see, for example, here you see some information that is also related to the webinar, and you see that there are some screenshots also from DiagnoCat. So I'm talking about AI tools. So the 2D diagnostics, 3D diagnostics. If you want to get more information, and I will add more videos also related to this topic, not only about dental photography, but this is like the look, scan, shoot, diagnose, and tools like DiagnoCat play an important role in this way of analyzing information, using information, and talking to our patients.
Amazing. Yes, so thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Divigos. It was a pleasure having you today. There's also the link from the YouTube channel. So please yeah, help and support here. I think there's great content on it. And I think it's always good to have this peer-to-peer interaction. So let's try to help each other. Let's try to support one another. I know, Dr. Divigos, that you're creating great content, not only about AI, but for us, of course, we want to hear you talking more about AI. So thanks a lot. I can see. Thank you also from the participants. Easy to understand, very informative. So great to have you. Have a great evening, everyone, and let's talk and see each other next time. Thank you very much. Rafik, hi.
That's working. Thank you, Dr. Devigos. Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
I wish everyone
and maybe if you're in Lucerne, come and see me in Bülach. It's
yeah, for sure. I will visit you. I know where your practice is. It's not far away where I live from.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Great. So looking forward to meet you in person.
Yeah, the same from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.